I learned from the Jim Miller School of, if you're a minute late, you're done with the meeting.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and if you would do a roll call, please.
Abby Bemis. Here. Marcus Harris.
Present.
Stuart Hastings. Paul Cook.
Here.
Alan Nichols.
Here. Okay, in your package was sent the minutes from the December 16th, 24 meeting. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay.
Second?
Got a first and a second? Paul, did you second that?
Yep.
Okay. We need to do the roll call, or do you just, favor.
Sometimes you guys just call all in favor.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. You also sent us the report and the project updates.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The fund balance for the Economic Development Assistance Program at the beginning of 2025 was $718,493. A portion of the annual grant to the Sandusky, or the Greater Sandusky Partnership, is funded by Issue 8 Economic Development Funds. The portion covered is $70,000 and has been deducted from the beginning balance to give us a balance as of today of $648,493. Any questions on the financial tracking sheet?
And as I look through this, we don't have any really old things that we voted on that haven't taken place. I think we pretty much got that cleaned out of there.
Anything that you see highlighted in green are still open purchase orders or projects that are still in place. Some of those I will give updates on during the project updates.
Okay.
The 648, is that unencumbered?
I'm sorry.
Is that the unencumbered balance?
Unencumbered, yes. That's funds available for program support as of today. Would you like me to move on with project updates?
That's
Sure.
it.
I just wanted to update one of our past applicants to the program, Pipe Creek Wharf. I did report at last meeting that they were closed for the winter, and I got a call from Mr. Murray yesterday that the reopening is scheduled for April 17th, so they'll be back open for business that day, so I wanted to mention that. Another one of our recipients in the past is Small City Tap House right next door here. The awning installation, you may have noticed, has been completed. The new sign has been selected and will undergo city review and approval before purchase and installation is scheduled, and that is scheduled to take place this summer. BAS broadcasting renovation and relocation is still in process. The project is scheduled to be completed this summer. And lastly, Sandusky Packaging, which is one of the last applications that you approved, their renovation is complete, and staff is awaiting final invoices and proof of payment before funds are dispersed.
So is there,
Sounds like everything's moving along.
sorry, is there money to be passed out to Pipe Creek? Is that 140? Is it?
It is not. No, that is complete.
It's out?
It's out.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it was just a project update. Since the last meeting, I had shared that it was closed for the winter. Any other questions on any other projects?
Through the chair, Director Gilson, the Saucy Brew Works, do we have any word on the future of that particular project, or are they shutting down for the season, or they will be back up in the spring? And did they fulfill the requirements of the grant that they had in terms of employees?
I don't know that there were requirements in that grant. That is an old grant that was made under different guidelines. The guidelines that we have now moving forward do have job creation requirements. And as far as I know, it is closed for the season. I don't have confirmation, but much like many of you, I've heard that it is not reopening, but I don't have final confirmation of that.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
So are there any other questions from the committee in regards to either the financial report or the project updates? I would entertain a motion to accept the project, or financial report and the project updates as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on. There's one project for your consideration today. The applicant is Sandusky Toft Dairy Incorporated at 3717 Venice Road. And I do want to point out that both Chuck and Logan Meisler, owners of the establishment, are with us here today. Toft's has been making their one quality products through 5 generations of family in Sandusky, Ohio since 1900, making them Ohio's oldest dairy. Toft's sources their fresh milk and real cream from family farms to create their unique creamy taste that has been cherished by consumers for decades. Their current aging freezer, already insufficient in capacity, has experienced a partial collapse, further limiting Toft's ability to efficiently manage its stock, which it receives from local family-owned farms. It is critical both to Toft and to the surrounding community that they construct a new expanded capacity cold storage facility, repurposing their existing freezer as additional dry storage. This expanded storage will address the significant seasonal demand fluctuations in the region due to a massive population increase during the summer months. The new freezer will allow the storage of excess dairy products during the slower seasons, enabling its efficient use during the summer peak. This will not only minimize product loss, but also ensure consistent year-round operations, allowing Toft to maintain its dedicated workforce and continue supporting the surrounding farms and community. The proposed cold storage facility is larger than Toft's current need, enabling them to mitigate the cold storage shortage in the region, where the nearest alternate option is over an hour's drive away. At present, Toft Dairy employs 76 full-time equivalent employees. They project adding 7 employees during the course of their loan term. Annual payroll today is about $4.65 million, with a projected 2 to 3% increase per year, topping out at over $5 million in year 3. Their current annual sales revenue is $28.3 million and anticipates growth to 31.9 million in year 3. Average pay per employee is just over $61,000. The owner has secured credit facilities from KeyBank for the project and has submitted evidence of such. Further, the owner has secured a commitment for a $2.5 million loan from Jobs Ohio for the project. Jobs Ohio will be providing their loan after the project is completed. Therefore, KeyBank will participate as a bridge lender for the project. The KeyBank credit facilities is in excess of the amount shown in your project summary sheet. The owner is providing 10% equity investment into the project. A $250,000 substantial development economic development assistance program loan at 0% payable at the end of a 5-year term is the recommendation for your consideration today. This investment represents 3.5% of the total project cost. The loan will be secured via subordinate mortgage on the property at 3717 Venice Road. If the owner achieves job requirement of the hires of 7 full-time equivalent at the end of the term, the owner may request forgiveness of the loan. This recommendation is more than the program cap per guidelines. In the case of catalytic projects, the guidelines do provide exemption from the stated cap. In discussion with city manager, there is concurrence to consider a loan beyond that cap. I'll open it up for questions.
I have a question.
I don't see the ice cream, but that's okay.
Chair.
Yes.
I have a question. You say 7, is that additional jobs or 7 jobs?
Additional jobs, that's part of their growth.
How do we measure those? Just so they know, because I assume in the summer they probably peak, and then, so if we measure at 12/31, probably tougher to hit.
Right. What we will do is likely measure from the date that the loan goes into place and do an annual review at the end of that year, and at the end of that 12-month period.
Good.
Apples to apples, 7 new FTEs.
Yes.
Got it.
Do you know how long the project takes? Or will take?
How long the project will take? Well, as luck would have it, we do have our applicants in the audience, and if you could maybe share what your anticipation is.
Yeah, January of 2026.
You want to stand up so nobody can hear you?
Logan, if you could come maybe to the podium.
Okay.
Should we swear him in?
We expect to have it finished in January of 2026.
Does it, because the way that the financing works, they'll get all their money, I think the bank fronts it, and then you guys give your receipts, and then, so you'll be done, and then the city gives you your money, and then you pay the bank back? So it would be the last dollars in, essentially?
Mhm.
So with that said, do we tier it that X is allocated in '24, and if it's January, X is in '25, so it spreads the
This is all
allocation?
20, this is all 25. These are
I
all,
thought you said
25, 26.
25, sorry, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
25 and then January 26, so then that way the program isn't holding that large. I mean, I'm totally for it, I just,
Right.
from,
This would come from 25's allocation.
okay.
Even if it's dispersed at the end of the project in 26.
Yes, it'll be encumbered in 25.
If we would run out in 25, are we able to say we can shift some of their cash to 26?
That would be a conversation with our finance director and being able to do that. I am not certain on that. I can get some clarity from her on that.
Because technically 26 funds aren't allocated anyway. Okay.
Usually until February, once the budget is approved.
Okay.
Although we have done multi-year commitments
Yes.
before.
We have.
Okay.
I'm most excited about the ability to add 7 FTEs and seeing the $61,000 average pay per employee. So these would be sustainable wage, full-time employment jobs that you would be adding to the your payroll?
Correct. Yeah, I think the other important thing to mention too, as Colleen said, our current freezer experienced a partial collapse over a year ago. And we've had to reinforce from the inside with structural steel welded to our existing pallet racking. I think the bigger thing is job retention, because without a freezer, ice cream is 50% of our business. And the only way to repair it was to shut it down. And we met with engineers and all that, and they were saying that if we shut it down, they were worried about a total collapse, because with the way the panels are structured, they're actually kind of held together by the support of ice and things like that in the freezer, since you're dealing with minus 20-degree temperatures. So I think job retention is a big part of this project as well.
And when it's complete, I would love to see aggressive expansion out to the east. My 12 years in the Cleveland metropolitan market, I can say I miss Toff's the most. Mitchell's is a far second.
Well, that's a really great segue into something that Logan shared with me at the beginning when we first met. So go ahead.
After we put this proposal together, we just found out that we're launching into all 60 Mark's stores and Heinen's. So we're potentially up to 100 stores.
So everyone in Northeast Ohio will get to
Yeah.
taste the awesomeness of Toff's. I love it.
Yep,
Get this freezer bill. That's good.
Thank you.
yep, thank you.
Any other?
Long-term company, family-owned, I mean, this is what I think we're here for. It's a perfect fit and, great product.
Any other questions or comments? Thanks, Logan. Okay. I would entertain a motion that we recommend this to the city commission for their vote on it.
So moved.
So moved? Second?
Second.
Okay, would you do a roll call, please?
Stuart Hastings,
Yes.
Abby Bemis,
Abstain.
Alan Nichols,
Yes.
Marcus Harris,
Yes.
Paul Cook.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Very exciting.
You're welcome.
So that is the only thing that you
That's
have?
it. That's it.
Okay, and question, do we have some in the pipeline?
We do. I'm having conversations with about 2 or 3 different businesses about accessing.
Now our meeting for May 13th is, okay.
Let's
okay.
hold it on our
Just-
calendars, yes.
Okay. Obviously, I don't see anybody out there, so the public, I would move for adjournment.
So moved. Second, third.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Again, ice cream cones will be delivered later.